Hello Red Dome family, welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we're back again with another video, another Matt Walsh video. Yes, we're back to the usual topic. Matt Walsh and you know who. But yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. I don't want to waste time on this one. So we've got What is a Woman featuring Matt Walsh and Piers Brosnan. Well, Piers Morgan.
Has made a documentary about it, and it's called simply Welcome back to Piers Morgan Uncensored. It's a simple question that now terrifies politicians the world over, and it's this: what is a woman? Well, Conservative podcast host Matt Walsh, in a moment of defying intervention, has made a documentary about it, and it's called simply What is a Woman? And it's out now.
What is a woman? Can you tell me that? Well, you're at the Women's March. You must have some idea.
Please, if one person could tell me what a woman is.
You are not here for women! We ask you to leave!
What is that? A woman is not anything in particular.
There is
What a
not
joke.
one particular thing.
What a joke. What a joke.
Some women have penises, right? Some men have vaginas.
I like scented candles, and I've watched Sex and the City.
Yeah,
How do I know if I'm a woman?
that's a great question.
You're not a scientist. You're not a gender studies major.
No,
How do you know that you're a man?
I guess because I got a dick.
Can a man become a woman?
A natural one.
I'm not a woman, so I can't really answer that.
Women only know what women are.
Are you a cat?
No.
Can you tell me what a cat is? You want to tell us what a woman is?
I'm
They
going
walk
to give you
away.
my number one tip to get over a breakup.
They walk
and
away.
that's going to be going to therapy. Going to therapy helped me so.
Let's walk away.
Well, Matt Walsh joins me now. Matt, great to talk to you. It's a
Yeah, I like his beard game,
fascinating
though.
documentary.
Jeez.
Because the chronic inability of apparently sane, intelligent individuals to answer this incredibly simple question is breathtaking.
Mind-boggling.
We're seeing it all over the world now. Senior politicians everywhere. And we saw it with Ketanji Brown Jackson. This is a woman who's now a Supreme Court justice. This is what she said when she was asked about this in her confirmation hearing.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? No,
Yeah.
I can't.
She lying. When she gets home, she knows what it is. She just she has to be on board unless they're gonna throw her off the ship.
Can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So
I'm
you
not a
believe-
biologist.
Oh.
I mean, Matt,
A part of me wants to feel sorry for these politicians, but then I realize something. I'm like, wait a minute. If we feel sorry for these politicians, who's gonna feel sorry for us? Because at the end of the day, they're getting the best of us. Yes, some of them have been bullied into it. Some of them have been guilt tripped, coerced. Some of them have, just blatantly, simply sold their souls due to greed. It's hard to feel sorry for individuals like that, but at the same time, it's like we're all human beings and we all have the capabilities of changing. So it's hard not to kind of feel for them a little bit, knowing that they haven't got their souls in place, or their souls on the verge of being, stripped from them. At the end of the day, we're their enemies. So
when you heard that, when you heard a Supreme Court justice nominee saying, I can't say what a woman is, even though she is one, because she's not a biologist, what did you think?
Well, first I thought this is great timing because we were going to announce our film that week, and then that moment happened. And it was kind of divine providence, I think, as you pointed out. There's two different things going on here. You've got people who can't answer the question, who are actually confused about it, and that's quite terrifying that people are confused about something as simple as this. But then you also have people who are pretending to be confused when they're not really, which is actually even more concerning in a lot of ways. And I think that Ketanji Brown Jackson, I'm going to assume, given that she's a very successful, intelligent person, and she is a woman herself and realizes that she's a woman, I think she's in the latter category where she actually knows that a woman is a female, but is pretending that she doesn't know because she's beholden to this ideology that has, basically backs her into this corner. And so she has to feign ignorance about something as simple as this.
Or she's simply scared. She's scared
the
to lose her
president
job.
of
Or
the,
she's
in
scared
the
to
UK, the National Union of
cancelled.
Students president, a young woman, a very bright young woman, but I asked her, what is a woman out of interest? And she thought I was trying to trap her. She actually thought this was a trap. I said, no, I'm just asking you what you think a woman is. It's not a trap. It shouldn't be a trap. How have we got here, Matt? How have we got to a place where young women are paralyzed with fear about even saying what they are?
This is gender ideology. I mean, that's what this is. And you could kind of, if you want to trace it back, you could kind of decide how far back you want to go. There are certain landmark moments you can point to in history. Now, I think for a lot of people, it feels like everyone knew what a woman was, and a man was a man, and a woman was a woman, up until about 8 years ago,
Facts.
and then everyone lost their minds.
Facts.
But it actually
That's
traces
so
back
true.
farther than that. In the film, we go back and we trace it back to guys like John Money and Alfred Kinsey, sexologists and psychoanalysts in the mid-20th century who came up with what we know today as sort of the early iteration of modern-day gender ideology. And I think they got it into the institutions, especially higher, academia, those kinds of institutions. And then from there, it sort of filtered down to the general public. Maybe about 8 years ago is when it sort of exploded onto the mainstream scene and took over at least the Western world after that point, I think.
And where it's got, I think, really dangerous and insidious, actually, to society is particularly in issues like sport, where you see trans athletes now dominating in women's sport. We had an example of this at the weekend, where a biological male skateboarder who was 32, I think, or something, this person decided to compete as a woman, has now transitioned to be a woman, in this skateboarding competition in New York, against girls as young as 12, and destroyed the field and won. This is what the trans athlete said afterwards.
I find that funny because that's like what I'm getting beat up about the most is like you're beating little kids and little girls, and I'm just like, I didn't intend to do that. This was the first competition that I've been to that I actually wanted to win. The skill level's, again, really determined by your determination, your tenacity.
That is not
to
a
just,
woman. Come on, man.
Put yourself on top and
That
do
is
these
a
obstacles.
guy with makeup on.
It has nothing to do with your age.
Do you think that you have a physical advantage?
I'm like, look at me, I'm not buff or anything, I don't think skateboarding has anything to do with physicality.
I mean, actually, Ricky Trez there is 29 or 32, but the competition, the girl who came second was 12. The kind of level of delusion there, that there was no physical advantage from being a biological male, that's where we've got to. They genuinely believe there's something wrong with this, but it's clearly, to me, transparently unfair.
Right. Well, we also live in a world where now you can't say pregnant woman, you say pregnant people because supposedly men get pregnant. This is the ultimate. This is the emperor has no clothes, and almost everybody. You look at that, and if you're asked, does it make sense to have a 29-year-old father of three competing in the women's competition against 13-year-old girls? If people feel like they're in a position where they can be honest about it, almost everyone is going to say obviously no. By the way, about that particular individual, he actually did an interview about a year ago where he said that he knows he's not a woman, but he wants to be cute and feminine like women, and so that's what he's trying to do. He actually says that. So it's got to the point now where someone, they don't even affirm themselves as a woman, and yet we have to do that.
That's
it
crazy.
just doesn't.
It's a trend.
It doesn't
It's a trend.
make any sense at all.
How has your
It's a trend.
documentary gone down, Matt? Have you had a lot of pressure
It's a trend,
not to
man.
give it much airtime?
Yeah, well, it's been interesting. So it's we've fortunately been able to get outside of kind of the conservative podcast bubble and reach a mainstream audience, which is what we wanted to do. And the reception in that kind of general audience has been really overwhelmingly good, and people are happy this film is out there. Mainstream critics, though, have just decided they're going to ignore this movie completely. You go to Rotten Tomatoes right now, and you'll find that not one single mainstream film critic has reviewed the film. We sent the screeners to mainstream critics, and they told us, I refuse to watch it. I'm not going to watch anything from the Daily Wire.
Because you're not on board with the agenda.
So they won't even look at it. They refuse to even
You're not part of the
take
narrative.
the time to see what we can present.
Which is complete madness, because I watched it with great fascination. It's very well made. It's a very simple premise. And the results, frankly, are startling and pretty disconcerting. Final question, Matt. In the interest of fair play, what is a man?
Well, if a woman is an adult human female, then I suppose a man would be an adult human male, I would say.
I think it really is as simple as that. Matt Walsh, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Wow. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I know, it's a stupid question, yeah, but that's the reality we're facing right now. A lot of people really don't know what the hell we are anymore. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one though. You know, take care of yourselves, drink your water, eat clean, meditate. You know, this year I can sense something big is gonna happen, both positive and negative. So be on your toes, you know, be on your toes. Peace. I want love.